And welcome back to the Huge Boob Corner. I am your host, Peter McLean, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the show. And if you want to keep supporting the show, make sure you like, share, and subscribe because it really helps. Now, today I have a very, very incredible guest that I actually didn't know about until a few weeks ago when I actually saw a message that she sent me about being on the show. And I feel very sorry that I did not know about her before then because she's amazingly beautiful. She's got amazingly huge boobs. So, and I'm very excited because she is my first guest from Australia. So would you please welcome the incredibly beautiful and busty September Summers.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for reaching out, and thanks for, I'm glad I was able to see your message in time so that, I didn't miss you when you got here.
Yes, thank you.
So, but yeah, you came here did you come to the US for work, for vacation, holiday?
No, I just came for a bit of work. I was invited to the Maxim party in LA. So, did a bit of that and down the runway and met some people over there networking, had a bit of holiday, and I haven't been to Vegas for 15 years.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember it. So I wanted to come back and see it. And I'd already known about you in Australia. And so hence why I reached out. Well, some of your guests are quite famous in Australia.
Yeah. But I just didn't know how international the appeal has been.
Of course, So from there I thought, reach out and see.
Yeah.
You didn't respond for a while, so.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's the thing, is because I think you were following me and I didn't get the message until I started following you back.
Yeah.
And then I got the message and then it was like immediately I was like, oh no, but I'm glad it worked out though.
It did work out, yes.
So I'm glad that happened. And I'm really, it makes me really happy to know that, that the show gets that much of reach.
Yes, well, it's definitely such a different dynamic and it's one of a kind. So I think you've hit the nail on the head with the brief for that one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, and obviously, it's again, like I take pride in thinking that, it's funny, you think you've seen every super busty woman that exists and then nope, there's more. So I'm always happy to discover or find out new. So thank you very much for coming here. So anyway, so I wanted to, because you reached out and you said that you've been, an adult performer and you've been in that kind of a world for a while. So why don't we start with that if you want, in terms of, so how did you get started doing adult work?
So I was from a very young age. I was working in dancing and clubs overseas, did the whole Japan, Hong Kong, the normality, all that stuff. And I just progressed, I guess, from there as I got older and went along in more confidence. And I found it was an industry I felt comfortable in and I enjoyed. So it kind of became a thing that just rolled on bit by bit, I guess, in a way. And the more normalized this becomes in the sense that it's, I guess, around more now with the internet and so forth, that it's not so taboo, that it becomes in society where people can be a bit more free about it and a bit more open and accepting.
Well, and I think OnlyFans did a lot to really kind of make it more mainstream because it's bridged that gap where you not only have adult models, but you have like mainstream actresses like Denise Richards or Drea De Matteo. They have an OnlyFans accounts, Bella Thorne. So it kind of, again, so it adds more, kind of, breaks down some of those
barriers and stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think also it gives that human appeal to it as well, because people now, it's kind of like in reach in a way to people, like becomes a bit more personalized. Even though people may say the opposite, I think OnlyFans has personalized people now to think, hey, that's someone who looks like someone I know, or maybe that's someone I could meet one day.
Because you can actually interact and you can talk.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it actually has personalized it more than remove it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's something that, because it sounds like, so was sex something that you kind of naturally gravitated towards, in terms of just something you enjoyed, something that you you were comfortable with?
Yes, I think growing up in Australia, growing up on the Gold Coast, it is like, I guess, like Miami, that type of look. So there's beaches, it's warm weather, you're in bikinis. I think that lifestyle kind of gravitates towards that as well when you're feeling confident. You're mostly working out, so to speak, like predominantly. And that kind of lifestyle, you're in the sun all the time and stuff. You have that lifestyle to crying out, feel confident and free. And in Australia, it's always been legal and so forth to have all the adult industries around. So there's no legalities around nothing of happening.
So it's like prostitution is legal?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So yes, it was only until last year though you weren't allowed to do it at a hotel on your own. You always had to do it in a licensed venue or so forth. But now it's completely legalized. That
everywhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
Assuming the people are of legal age.
Oh, absolutely, yes,
obviously.
yeah, over 18 in Australia, and obviously consensual things, of course. So now everything's completely legal. So, but it has always been around stripping and so forth. That it's not been a big thing. So yeah, I was always interested in it. I had girlfriends who did it as well, and it just kind of become a thing that's. I don't know. Just
a natural fit to.
How do I say? I was going to say, I enjoy my work, and I enjoy the people I meet, and I think it's it's an interesting industry. I'm sure you've met many people in it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
you meet all types of people.
Yes,
which I feel like it gets kind of unfairly maligned as this bad, negative industry. But I'm like, there's good people in every industry. There's bad people in every industry.
And I think it's also why you're in the industry is a massive. Reason why it could be good or bad as well, because there's a difference between needing to be in an industry and wanting to be in an industry.
True.
Especially with this type of work. So I think if you're in a great mindset of you want to be there.
A healthy mindset.
Yes. And you don't go down the path, which sadly in every industry, but some, especially in this industry, can go down a path of destruction or self-destruction.
Yeah.
As long as you steer clear of that and keep a clear head,
yes.
I think that it can be a really great career for some people, but not for many.
So then I wanted to ask you, what in your opinion must a person have to have a healthy, good mindset to be able to do this?
If I had it my way, I wouldn't make it legal till someone was at least 25. I don't believe 18 to 25, you are sexually aware.
Okay.
You don't have that autonomy of your body so well in your own head space of saying yes or no properly because you may be influenced as a young female. Whereas I feel that as you get older, you have that more self-awareness. So I think you need to be self-aware. You need to have confidence. You need to be able to say your boundaries, yes, know what you're okay with. Not be completely money-driven.
Yes.
I think if you are completely money-driven, you're going to blur those lines. And I think it's like you have to want to be in the industry.
Yes.
Otherwise, you see the slippery slope for other people who aren't. So, yeah.
And, that's interesting because when I've had older, people that started in the industry in their 30s or their 40s, they had, it was more of a conscious choice in regards. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a conscious choice for a younger person, but, as you said, our brains are still, still kind of forming and they're still kind of getting to their point by our mid 20s.
Yes.
So, whereas, when you're older, you can be like you've already lived a certain portion of your life. You might have had other careers that you're like, you know what? Yes. I really don't want to keep doing something like this.
Absolutely. And I think also you've probably had more experiences in those areas in your personal life by then that you know where you stand with stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty big thing with that one.
So then when did you like fully engage in the adult industry then?
So I fully engaged probably about 7 years ago.
Okay.
I came out publicly in Australia about 2 years ago. And it's been the best thing ever since I've done that one.
So do you have like some, a good amount of notoriety back in Australia?
Yeah. So I've been on a lot of podcasts and news and stuff over there with it, promoting the good sides of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But with that myself, coming out publicly was a decision I had to make for my family and my friends to make sure it was the right thing to do because once it's out, you can't take it back.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
So I say that to people that I'm not sure how it works in America, but a lot of girls do still cover their faces and their photos. But on the higher end stuff, we don't. And the moment you do that, and people say, should I cover my face? Only if you are 100% sure that's the industry you want to be in. Because as you know, like photos of any kind on the internet, once they're out, then you can't get those things down ever.
You can't,
So it has to be a conscious decision. You know that you are confident for the backlash because you will get backlash.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just a part of it, though.
Yes, yeah.
But then again, I feel like there's other like I always say, politicians are so vehemently hated,
Yes.
and I'm sure that's universal. But like, I mean, I don't think people that are in the adult industry. I mean, I'm sure there are some people that might hate them that strongly, but I feel like not to the levels of like a politician. Politicians can get millions of people
Yes.
to despise every breath they take.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And so I think the problem, I think that where it comes with adult work is the idea that it's something that people feel guilty about liking.
Yes.
And they feel shamed that they are, that they get turned on by it. And I think they project their personal guilt and shame as anger and frustration towards the people that are in it.
Understand.
And produce it.
And also misunderstanding.
Yes.
People misunderstanding or misunderstood or don't completely understand something, they're going to judge or they're going to have their opinions on that base, which is not their fault.
No,
it's just the way.
Well, and I think though there's a conscious effort to not try to understand people in there. I think that they want to look at you, someone, like that looks like you and has the huge boobs and everything and make these judgments and not want to see past that.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's a bit of ignorance in a way of if you challenge your own beliefs, then you have to grow. And some people aren't ready for that.
No. So, but you said that one, and I think that, when we were talking before that one of your big goals is to try to, really kind of, bring more awareness and acceptance to adult work.
Yes. So I'm kind of calling it the September Summers movement in Australia right now. I do these things in the morning and do podcasts where I do a good morning, trying to get everyone to be up and positive straight away. I'm trying to get this barrier around this judgment of, sex work, but not just that, just even women looking say us, I don't like to use the word different, but enhanced. We'll say use enhanced. It's still not extremely accepted in Australia completely. And I find it, because I say this with love, and is that you wouldn't say something on the street to someone who was fat or obese but people feel that they can with people who've got big boobs, so they can ridicule.
They can make these rude comments.
Yes, and they think it's okay. I had it here a few times and I've been laughed at. Someone spat at me. So I had a few things and like groups of females laughing. And I'm like, if I was, maybe a little bit different looking, not as handsome or something, you probably wouldn't even bat an eyelid. But you feel like that's okay. And so I'm trying to create this movement in Australia that it is like, how I look's not affecting your life.
Yeah.
And the best thing is if we uplift and support each other, what happens the day where you're saying when your parents would say, you haven't got nothing nice to say, don't say
it at all. Yeah.
It's the most simplest saying in the book and it's amazing. How amazing does it feel when someone walks past you and they may say to you even like, oh, you smell nice or you look nice. That tiny little compliment can make someone's day.
Yeah.
And you don't know what else they've got going on. So I'm trying to make this thing where it's just be nice, be a good human and just try and uplift people, how they look and so forth. It may not be for you. That's a great thing about life. We all have our different types. So it's I'm struggling a little bit trying to get it work perfectly, but I'm on a crusade to do it. I think if we all start to realize the positive that it can happen it will change it hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And I mean, all you can do is try to affect, one person at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and hopefully being able, like one of the reasons I wanted to do this show was I wanted to create a show that promoted super busty women in a very positive way because I know that there's a lot of women and a lot of the guests that I've had, that will get very negatively treated unfairly and because of just how they look, not because of who they are, not because of all that stuff. And I think that, and I'm happy that I'm able to give you an opportunity to talk about what you love and what you're passionate about.
I'm very passionate about. I just want the stigma to go away, and I want people to see that. And like this is why I love your show as well. Is that first glance, most of you women on your show, if people aren't uneducated in this part, they would think bimbo, this with no education. Every interview I've seen you do with these women, they are far from that.
I mean, I have had a couple of bimbos. I have had a few but they're self-proclaimed.
Exactly.
But they embrace the title and
exactly.
And that is their identity. So,
yes.
but aside from that, the ones that don't see themselves that way.
Oh, there's more depth than just what you see. And I love that. I think it's a great way to be able to, yourself be able to get that out to people that there's more than just more than just glance, you know?
Well, and the thing is, because other podcasts, even other adult podcasts will still kind of lean into some of those stereotypes. And again, for me, because huge boobs have always been a big thing for me.
No.
Like, yes, yeah. And I was like, but the thing is though, is that I've always been but I've always loved getting to know people.
Yes.
And so like, that's to me, one of the most rewarding parts. And so, sorry, I don't want to get this to be about me, but anyway, so what, like, how soon after you started doing adult work did you start to like, when did this crusade like start to brew inside of you?
It was pretty early, because as people start to whisper and start to talk what I was doing and so forth, I was probably not as confident about coming out as much at the start. So I was taking it quite negatively and personally.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started owning my truth, and that's why I love saying, when you own your own truth, you own your own personality and so forth, it became this thing of, hang on, what I'm doing isn't affecting you.
No.
And I was like, what anyone does doesn't affect them, whether you're sexuality or anything like at all. I'm like, so now I want people to just be less judgmental. So it's just become this progression that's gone on. And it's just this fire I've got inside of me to want to do it.
Nice.
Yeah. Probably too much sometimes.
So, and again, I mean, I'm really hoping that you're able to make some really good progress with this and be able to see some tangible results in regards to, like, have you thought, I'm curious, like, do you try to counsel, younger women? Do you try to like give advice or try to be able to be like a helpful voice to them that want to get involved in this?
I absolutely love doing it, but I also like it. I could do a bit of mentoring with some of the girls who are just starting the industry and people who are thinking about it. So since when I came out over the news a little while ago, I had a lot of girls inboxing me wanting to, like, thinking, I want to do this and so forth. And I'm very adamant about talking to people, the good, the bad, the ugly with everything. You will get backlash and this and so give everyone their own platform to be educated and make the decision rather than glamorize it and stuff, because that's not healthy either for people to see just that. And so with that, I just like talking to people, explaining my situation, and that's all I can say. It's just my own situation, my own journey. But yeah, I find it more women are becoming a lot more accepting of it.
Okay.
And which I think is great. There's still stigma with men, I think, but I think, as you said before, they're pretty nervous to accept it. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey. Well,
and what I find, because there's a debate that I think has arisen, especially with OnlyFans, that I wanted to get your take on. The idea of, because you have these people that try to, who's to blame for why adult work is so prevalent? Is it the consumer or is it the provider? The idea that, some people want to blame because it's primarily women and the consumers are primarily men. That, some people want to put the blame, a lion's share of the blame, on the providers, on the women, because they're saying, well, if this didn't exist, you wouldn't have the consumers. But then it's like, but if the consumers if the demand wasn't there, you wouldn't have the supply.
Yes.
So do you, I'm curious because have you seen that debate? Like, have you seen that there is that debate that tends to...
It is, but I actually would say, even going back to Instagram, for example, it's the same as that. You've got it's supply and demand, but also it's readily available, instant gratification. It's all those things that we have available to us now. I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy. I think that OnlyFans has put this normality with, it's okay for women. Like, not everyone's massive on OnlyFans. Some women are doing it support their kids for a couple $100 a week, something like that. And that gives them a bit of sexual freedom, maybe gives them a bit of confidence again. So I think it's actually encouraging good behavior in sex positive for your own self. But this consumer with the whose fault to blame it is, I don't think it's either. I think it's natural that
it exists.
This is natural. We probably haven't had it so much easy access as what we have. And
well, and that's the thing is I think that, I mean, they always say it's the world's oldest profession, right? The idea that sex has kind of always been that thing. And I think it's because it's one of those, primal, natural things that humans need.
Yes.
It's, some people want to think it's not a need, like, like food or sleep, but I think it is. I think that that's there. And I think that, the business will exist, the industry exists whether you want it to or not.
Yes.
And, you can go to the most repressed countries that probably, and it doesn't mean that their sexuality has been completely repressed. It just means that they have to go through to greater lengths to hide it.
Yes.
And to get what they want.
Yes, I agree. And I think, and then sometimes when you take away people's freedom or chances to be able to naturally do or I guess live how they feel that they need to, I think that's when the problems arise as well. So people go to extra lengths to try and get that satisfaction. I honestly believe that OnlyFans and my work, for example, has and you correct me if you don't agree, stamped out a lot of cheating, so to speak.
Yeah, possibly.
I feel that it depends on what your stance is on cheating. I think these industries are good for the reasons of having those outlets that people need, but not necessarily want to finish their relationships. And that's not just men. I have a lot of female clients and I have a lot of couples as well. So it is a sex positive thing that brings couples together sometimes and keeps relationships still alive. So that's I guess some people may not agree with that, but I do believe that. Well,
so you believe then that a society that is more tolerant and less stigmatizing towards adult work tends to be would be better off.
Absolutely, because I feel like with OnlyFans and the adult industry, it is a profession, it's an industry. So you're not going out and having affairs. So I think when you take that away from it and it is just a service or just an experience, so to speak, you're removing that, I guess, that too personal connection with it all, which could create other issues. So I actually think it's definitely needed. And if you like I said, if it's not there, you're going to go find it if you really want to do anything, like where there's a will, there's a way, as they say.
And I think that there can be a lot of different motivations for wanting, specific, for wanting it in terms of like whether it's just, kind of a short-term gratification where you're like, okay, I need something and I want, or if you want, because you can develop maybe more emotional attachments. And that can be something that you're wanting more of than a physical attachment. So, but yeah, and one thing, and another thing that you were talking about that I wanted to bring up was just, it goes really hand in hand with this, is just in general sex positivity.
Yes.
So obviously, I would say, what would be your main objective regarding sex positivity?
Sex positive for me, my main objective is to get people to embrace their own bodies. I have a daughter as well, and I'm trying to get her high school and so forth involved because, like you said, regardless, sex is always going to be around.
Yes.
So if we approach it in a way that it's not dirty, it's between two people, how many people, whatever it is, it's meant to be fun. And when it becomes not fun, not positive, then that's the issues. It's a natural thing we do, and we're always going to do it. And making it a bit more just all above board positive with it all. I'm really trying to get that it's not dirty. It shouldn't be taboo. Shouldn't be behind closed doors, so to speak. Not saying go out there and be too much.
You don't mean to be in public, but
and make the communication between people better. Okay. I think relationships and so forth, it should be something you're able to talk to your partner easily about. I find I have people I talk to, couples who've been together 6-7 years, and they still struggle to say their fantasies to each other. And I find that a little bit sad because you should be able to be like, hey.
You should.
Like, I wouldn't mind trying this, but, you might say no. You're like, okay, then, no worries, I got it out, at least, So I'm trying to create that normalization of it's being okay to talk about. Yeah.
So did you personally grow up in a more sex-friendly environment then? Was it something that it wasn't looked at taboo as you were growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I grew up in quite a liberal house, so to speak, in that, we were walking around like in bikinis and so forth outside. So it was body positive was always a big thing. I was never made to feel like it should be hidden behind closed doors or so forth. In saying that, I was never allowed to have anyone stay at my house or anything until I was about 21.
No.
It was like, I just grew up in a place that it wasn't taboo. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think that leads to, because it's, so it comes down to like also when you look at parenting, because some people want to think that there's a one size fits all form of parenting, which I think probably isn't correct. I'm not a parent, but I imagine that because children are different, personality wise and stuff like that, you can't you can't always approach one child the same as you can another.
Yes.
So I feel like with something like sex, that approaching sex, I almost feel like, I mean, do you figure that you should try to feel out regarding like a person's personality? Because maybe, to try to, teach them or inform them. Because again, with adults, like, and I'm just meaning about, talking to adults, because again, adults can be very shy about it and very repressed and might very afraid of their sexuality.
Yes.
And just, of their fantasies.
Yes.
So when you encounter people, like, can you tell, like, or do you tend to try to change the way you try to bring out that sex positive in somebody else, like based on their personality?
Sure. So like even a lot of my clients and so forth, I've been able to over the years get more and more out of them different ways. You can kind of gauge someone's personality after you spend a bit of time with them if you're listening quite well. And some people don't like targeted questions. Mm-hmm. Some people prefer you can have a conversation where you interact your own experiences and then they feel more comfortable to discuss things. With the sex that I'm trying to do with the high schools and so forth, with that is a different approach again, because that has to be very monitored and censored of what's age appropriate to do. And I love it though, because it makes me realize that, like I said, it's not one size fits all. And the way you are going to deliver something or get people to ask questions about themselves is going to form how they're going to see it themselves anyway. You can tell someone what you want, but inherently they're going to know their own feelings or awareness, what they want to take in, so to speak.
Yeah. But and the thing, and that it comes back to communication, what you were talking about, because for instance, if you were to meet somebody who was like, if they told you, look, I'm just not comfortable talking about this kind of stuff right now, would that be more helpful than them just kind of shutting down or them not really giving you anything to work with?
Absolutely. And I think that
then you can slow it down if you needed to.
And not everyone's going to want to partake in the same kind of conversation. So it's kind of it's an interesting one, especially with my work. Everyone's got very, very vast different fantasies, and I always say that nothing's abnormal, so to speak, within reason. Nothing's abnormal, and I like to be approachable, but anyone can always ask me anything. Yeah. And I really think that's a good way to be.
Okay. So why do you think society at large, and I guess it depends on the country you're in, but maybe why do you think that it's still in 2025? Why do you think there's still so much negativity towards sex and sexuality?
I think people are so worried about judgment. Okay. I think people are worried that they're going to be judged or rejected. Rejection is a massive thing.
Yeah, it is.
And it was probably one of the reasons, throwback, but reason why I got into this industry as well. I've been through a bad breakup. I was rejected through lots of cheating. And this work kind of validated me like a bit of, no, this wasn't about me type thing. So I think rejection is a massive thing. And people get nervous to express themselves because if they get rejected, some people can't cope with that. So rather than that, just shut off avoidance and closing down. So I would say it's more about rejection and judgment is the reason why people aren't openly talking about it more.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting because I think that there is an element where it's one of those things where it seems like both political sides have their problems with it. Where one, they don't like it due to its morality issues in their minds, and then other ones do it because of the exploitation they think, because they think, for instance, a woman is going to be exploited and used and be treated very poorly, and or that she shouldn't need to use her sexuality to become successful or to make money.
Yes. And so we get a lot of that, I guess, when we start doing this work and so forth. If people say, oh, I wish I could save you. I don't need saving. Yeah. No, but it's a great, though, that still is in the mindset of people understanding that unfortunately there is people who do need saving. Yeah, that's the awareness is still there, I guess, of that part. But I don't need saving. I don't need, I wish I could take you away. I don't want you to take me away. So I think it's that uneducated part of people are doing this for a reason, and it's not always the bad one.
So I'm curious, do you have any, personally, would you say that there are, what are the sexual stereotypes that you find the most either incorrect or frustrating when you encounter them or hear them? If you can think about it.
Look, I think in general, people just expect in the adult industry that you're going to be flying for chandeliers and it's going to be, I guess, anything goes type thing. So I think it's a big misunderstanding of, as humans, we still got our own boundaries and so forth. So I think that's a stereotype. I think there's some basic stereotypes, I guess, in genders and races and so forth. But I guess people are trying to get over them a little bit more. The more people talk. But, yeah.
Well, because I don't know if you do you get recurring criticisms or recurring people that are trying to say certain things regarding what you do or trying to promote sex positivity as if like, oh, well, you're trying to promote a shameful thing. You're trying to promote something that should only be like.
Yeah, I get told a lot, in trying to promote people, like, get a real job.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? You're trying to get women into this industry, which I'm not trying to at all.
Yeah.
I'm very honest about the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I find that's a massive thing about you're not doing anything with your life, or you're not contributing to society, or you're not. Look how your parents must be so proud. Things like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah. Well, and what, like, because you're trying to promote this kind of sex positivity and in a general way, right? Like not just as an adult worker, as somebody in the adult industry, but just somebody in, like, if you weren't in adult work, would you still be trying to promote sex positivity?
Absolutely, yeah. So I've just finished the sex therapy now. So that's a whole, like, the whole crusade is going down that path.
So are you going to become a licensed therapist?
Yeah. So I've just finished my sex therapy course in Australia. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that one, and so with all of that is trying to promote all that as well. Don't work with couples and so forth. But I just feel like this whole this crusade I'm trying to get on. Hopefully it'll happen. But yeah, I just trying to change people's opinions it's
okay.
Yeah, it's a bit different. And even in America, I find everyone, even through LA and here, everyone's opinions are different again, no matter where you go. So,
well, and it seems like it's interesting because, again, different countries have different, I want to say, overall viewpoints about sex. So it must be interesting when you travel to go to certain nation or certain places that I don't know, where you think they will be more open or they might be more closed off. But then again, it might just depend on the city or the state or
the people in general, I guess. Yeah.
So, what kind of, I want to say, what kind of changes would you like to see made promoting sexuality? Like, what would you, like, is there anything out there that, like, isn't being done right now that you would like to see more of or see done better to try to promote, sex positivity?
Yeah, I think the movement we've had in Australia now that we can do all the work everywhere now takes that stigma away behind closed doors and, too much secrecy. I kind of think that's made it a bit more acceptable over in Australia in that way. I think the best thing with it is the more we talk about it, the more, especially with sexual health, because the more we talk about that type of stuff comes up, the more positive it's going to become.
Yeah.
And I say this to a lot of people, it's probably what's back with your question before, a lot of stigma in my job is people think that we aren't sexual health, that's not primary. I can tell you right now, hand on my heart, my sexual health is 110 times the best it's ever been in my whole life, like since this industry, because we are so adamant about promoting that. So it's actually a stigma that people think the opposite of it. And so just trying to promote that, especially with the kids and stuff as well, that it has to be something taken seriously as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more conversations, more media, more, podcasts, things like that.
Absolutely, I think. And just, I think from the high school stage up, I think it should be, in layman's terms, should start to be something that should be brought out straight away. So I know in Australia, I'm not sure if it happens as much here, we've gone backwards a bit. So we used to be able to give out protection and so forth at schools. Now you can't.
Okay.
So I feel like going backwards in that way is a little bit of a backwards step because I feel like it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So, but then it's also crossing over the boundaries of, there's so many legalities these days. And
there's a lot of complexities with things like that. Have you been on, like, because are there mainstream, like, talk shows and stuff in Australia that would bring, say, you on and talk to you about this kind of stuff in that kind of a forum?
Yeah, so I was on one about 8 weeks ago, and that was Novus around Australia. And that was a podcast and a radio there. And so we spoke for an hour on some pretty heavy stuff. And I got a little bit of backlash for some of the stuff I said, which I expected. But I was, if you're going to ask me questions, and I will always be honest and transparent. So, yeah, I think it's good to understand that people are not always going to be understanding or accepting of what you're going to say anyway. And that's why we've all got our own, I guess, opinions and stuff.
Obviously, yes, we do. And that's something that just is inherent with the human experience.
Yes, yeah.
So, and then how does adult work in your mind promote sex positivity? Is it just like, do you think it's a means of being able to, do something that you're trying to promote?
I think if you strip back to the basics, is that if my industry, normally, like the girl's going to get dressed up, she's going to make herself feel nice. She looks, and she's putting effort into how she looks, and that's making her feel good and sexually happy herself before she's interacting with someone. And I think the same roles reverse. And generally speaking, someone who is for a companion dinner or a more intimate setting, they're going to get dressed up and feel nice too. So you've automatically set these two individuals already feeling fabulous for the night.
Yeah.
And I think that promotes, then that just rolls on to then. Like the sex positivity, you are there to have a good time and you can be a bit more open with people. So therefore you get to be a bit more yourself. And I think then that flows onto your own personal life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's, and I mean, so would you say like that if people that get into adult work, it's a good way to kind of promote sex in a good way?
I do. I actually do. I think it is because it's done properly. It's not, there's sort of, rules, so to speak, to go by, and you have to be in your own space, in a good headspace as well. And it's empowering for women as well sometimes that they may be doing it because they have to start with, or they may just end up, oh, look, I can create this life for me and my kids or so forth and themselves that they couldn't beforehand. So I think it's a positive step if done right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you gone to like conventions and stuff to be able to like give talks about this and to meet people and?
Yeah, I think we have things like called Sexpo and things like I think got similar ones. You had one, I think.
Yeah, we have Exotica.
Yeah.
AVN, XBiz.
Yeah, so we have all them. We have like the awards as well, like for the sex industry as well. So they're a great place that people go to for dinners, and they give out awards and people can talk about the industry, I guess, so to speak, in a positive way. They get TV personalities to come in and host those events. So it's kind of mainstream enough and gets a bit of traction. But the expos and stuff are probably the best things that are, I guess, people can feel comfortable to come and talk to you and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because you're going to now, since you're getting that your certification for sex therapy, is that something that you're going to like start offering as an official service? Yes.
So especially with couples in who I see, because I find, like I said before, that couples don't talk enough about it, and I would just love to be able to. From someone who's been in the industry, I feel like in a way it goes hand in hand. I can walk the talk, so to speak, because I've seen firsthand both men and women when they're separate, like what they're missing in relationships. So I feel like it's something that I'm good at listening and being able to understand, and I can now, be able to give a bit of advice or help people through that on their own. Yeah.
So in your experience so far with couples, what tends to be, I mean, are there certain common issues with couples that you notice?
Yes. So it generally is either people got children, young children, it's people are busy, and the woman, maybe she's lost a bit of her sex drive, which happens like a lot, or, every people are working, there's not enough time in the day, so to speak. But where I try and say there is, I try and promote that it doesn't need to necessarily be sex. It can just be something small and intimate that is going to give you a bit of boost, a bit of dopamine for the day, that then creates a bit of connection that then, that flow-on effect happens.
Yeah.
But the longer you leave it, the longer you leave it. Yeah. I say. So sometimes better jump back on the horse.
Yeah. Well, and so do you think that because and what kind of therapies do you see that, you would do certain therapies that are more, say, talking focused, or then other therapies that are more like, activity and action focused?
Yes, I think it's also on depending who you're with, I guess, so to speak, because everyone reacts differently. Some people work really well with just talking. Some people prefer more of a casual scene. And then I think also some people actually need you to help them, like, because they're too nervous or scared, like, pretty much help them
yes.
what to do.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think there's different ways to approach it all as well. So I have got a couple who I see, and sometimes I know I'm just there to give them a bit of confidence. Like, they probably don't need me there, but I think it's just a bit of confidence for them to feel freely together, but they're probably not having.
So have you had people that, they come to see you, they and then afterwards, like, do you get any sort of updates like, hey, we're doing a lot better now since we saw you, and like things are so much more,
Absolutely. So when I was on the news a little while ago, I got this amazing guy who commented actually on the thing. And he said, thank you so much. That was just his way. He was having some issues at performance. And he said, since he'd been seeing me for 6 months, him and his wife, the performance issues had now gone. And he said, thank you so much. You made that confidence, because he lost his confidence with the person he loved. He was worried about getting rejected, and got that confidence back up with me, and now they're back. Things are great. So that to me makes me feel yay.
yeah. Well, and because I don't know if they would stay in contact with you, or if it's
you get things like that. Sometimes you can know when people are just going to drop off, and that's it then and there. You've kind of been there for the time they needed you for, so to speak.
Okay. That's great. Now, I wanted to bring back one of the things that you were talking about Australia kind of slipping backwards. Do you think that overall Australia is a more sexually open type of country, or now more repressed, kind of sexual repressed country?
I think we're still very open, I guess.
I didn't even realize that it was that certain things were fully legal there.
Yes, yeah. So everything's completely legal. So it's very forward in that way. I feel though it's a bit still repressed because people are still judgmental about it still. So I still feel that's always it's going to be of that, and it's readily available online. So I feel in a way it's not as because that taboo-ness is gone now. So it's
okay. Yeah. Well, would you say that there is a country out there that I want to say promotes sex in your mind the best?
Oh, the best. Look, I think, like I said, in every country it's going to be good and bad everywhere. I've met a lot of Brazilians who are very, very sex positive. I kind of like their way they are. But I think everywhere you go, you're going to get something different. I could tell you the opposite of the place I've been that I haven't been, but more I guess it's individualized of groups of people.
Okay. And I mean, like, do you think that, did you have certain, because how much have you traveled?
Yeah, so quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your experience then, what do you think was the most sex positive country you've ever visited?
Well, I think the most sex positive country I've ever visited, but also the most quiet, is Stockholm, Sweden.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Everyone's they have this word they call lagom, like not too much, not too little. So they're in public, they're not touchy-feely at all, but they are the most liberal, able to talk about sex, healthy relationships behind closed doors. And it actually shocked me because I was thinking on the outset they didn't look like that. But inside, they're very, very positive. They talk about it at school. It's actually a surprise for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On the flip side, what might be the country that might be the most like sex negative? If you can,
China.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, I went to China and they did not like me.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that was not a.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what that experience could have been like.
Yeah, they don't like me, but that's okay.
Well, and then there's other countries that are interesting, like Japan, which they have a lot of. It seems like there's a struggle. There's a lot of potential shame, but then there's a lot of
openness.
Expression that they want to express themselves with.
It's crazy. So I was in Japan for 9 months altogether. So I went there 3 times. And it was such a positive, sort of experience, as in very open in some places like Roppongi, have the vending machines, all that stuff. But then also behind closed doors as well, or in some other parts that you could be looked at like you're the devil. So it is, again, it was kind of a contrast in in that country. So I guess I was a bit naive when I went to China thinking it would be a little bit like that.
No, not like that.
No.
So
not the place for me, unfortunately.
So where does the US rank in terms or stack up in your experience?
This is what I was a bit crazy about the other day. So when I went to LA I found was everyone was kind of great, everyone was fine about it, but I did get told, which I thought was a bit of a shock, was you don't show nipples here in your swimmers or any of that type of stuff or on your Instagram, things like that. Whereas in Australia, that's kind of okay-ish.
Okay.
I thought it would have been more free here, so to speak. And I had a couple of bad experiences here in Vegas, only by people who just, they're maybe not even from Vegas.
Yeah, true.
So I can't comment on that part. But I thought people would be a bit more okay. And I feel like I've been a bit more like, from people. But again, they may not be from here. It could just be tourists.
True.
So yeah, I was kind of shocked. I thought you guys would have been a little bit even more forward than we were in Australia.
Yeah, I don't know. Here, I think that there is a big kind of debate going on regarding sexuality, and because OnlyFans has really kind of spurred that on. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because some people want to think like a foreign country, it's going to be a lot more sexually open, and I'm just like, if you go to like the Netherlands or something, because they have legalized prostitution, that you think, it's going to be a free for all.
Yeah.
There, but it's like, no, it's you just like anywhere. It's in certain areas that you go to, and otherwise you can't assume that it's going to be like that everywhere.
And I think also, I'm not sure if you've heard about the girl Bonnie Blue.
Yes, I have.
So things like that, they bring different things to the industry that some will say good, some will say bad. But regardless, if you're not educated, those stories will still spark debate in people. So it's those things create debate as well.
Yeah. Well, and then there's another one, Lily Phillips is the other one who they were kind of competing for, but I've seen her do some other shows and talk about it. So, and it's interesting because again, like people are trying to say, don't you feel like this is bad? Don't you think this is so, but anyway, but I want to get into my favorite portion of the show, which is the boob talk.
Yay!
Because that is obviously, the thing that I enjoy the most, and hopefully you would love to talk about. So, so how big are they? How big are your boobs?
I've got 1,400 cc's.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. And how many and what kind? And are they saline?
Yeah, these are my first saline. So in Australia, they only go up to 1,000 cc's. So I had 2 surgeries. My first was 350. Back in the day, I thought it was massive, and they were tiny.
Okay.
And then I went to 650, and then because I wanted over 1,000, they don't do that in Australia. So they only go up to 1,000 for silicone. So they don't do saline. So I had to come to America.
Okay.
So yes, and so now there's the saline, and I can't wait to go bigger, hopefully soon.
Well, I was going to say, yeah. And so you've had then 3 main procedures: the 350, the 650, and where you're currently at. Are they the silicone overfilled or
saline overfilled? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it about? Like, when did you realize you wanted bigger boobs?
I guess when I had the 650s, I thought they were big enough at the time. And then with Instagram and so forth, I saw all the girls here in America with these bigger and bigger boobs. I was like, I just had boob greed. And I was like, I want them. I want them. And it just became a bit fixated.
Yeah, true.
I must admit, I was like scrolling all these doctors' pages and just like, I feel like probably like one of those crazy men who was very love-hearting and fire-signing.
Nice.
And I just fell in love with it. And since I had these done, and I just can't wait to get them bigger now. I I like the look. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like, so going all the way back, like, what was it? Because did you start, like, where did you start with, like, nothing?
Yeah, so I was pretty small, had nothing, and I was 18. So, 18, got them done straight away. So when people say, how are you before? I don't really remember because I was so young.
Okay.
And at the time, as generations go, everything is bigger and bigger, I guess. And it wasn't until the 650s, and then I was like, now I need bigger. Like, it's just a regression.
And like, do you have a certain size you want to get to, or is it just as big as they can get?
I really want to go at some 1,400 now. I want to at least try and get the next one 2.2. I would really like if you're going to go to that thing again. So hopefully,
well, you've got a pretty tiny frame though.
Yeah.
So do you think that there might be a size that would just be too large for you?
Well, I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
there's a girl you've had on the show. Is it Angelique? And she has the really crazy big one. She's
Angelica.
Yeah, Angelica. Sorry.
From Hungary?
Yes, and
Yes.
she's got the tiny waist.
Oh, yeah, she's
and
really,
I'm like, wow, how do they get that big? But they do.
Yeah, they can. They can.
That looks fabulous for her. Probably won't be fabulous for me, only because Australia is a bit backwards at the moment. So I would love to it next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, is it something that when, every time they've gotten bigger, like what has it just been like, how long is that excited, like, oh, they look so much better now, but then when that wears off and you're like, okay, they need to get bigger again?
Yeah, probably when the swelling goes down.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think for this time I was, so we're quite swollen. I jumped on a plane and went home to Australia and they were so swollen and I loved them. And then I think about 6 weeks later, I was like, oh, they're so small now. I think that's what happens for a lot of us though.
Yeah, true.
You start to get used to them and you think they're,
Yeah, they don't impress you anymore.
No, yeah, you're like, you start scrolling again, look at the other girls.
Yeah. So what typically what are the reactions that you typically get back home in Australia? Like, is it like if you walk around on the beach, do you get a lot of staring? Do you get a lot of, or are people pretty nice?
Yeah, it depends on where you are and if they're alone. I only ever find it if it's groups of people that you'll probably get the out loud comments.
Okay.
You might get, a few looks, whatever. Actually, men, that's human nature, isn't it? The double take.
True.
But I'm surprised some people just say, nice boobs straight away. Like it's kind of high first, it's nice boobs. It's quite funny, but it's more if people are in groups and into different settings, or if they're in a bar, they'll say something like, "Oh, look at that," or
okay.
But apart from that, I kind of try and just challenge it out and just be like, okay, I've chosen to look like this. I like this look. If I didn't, I wouldn't have got it done.
True.
So I have to be okay with that, I guess.
Well, and I was going to say, because I feel like since Australia doesn't allow going super big, that, someone with boobs as large as yours or even bigger is a lot rarer to see there than here.
Absolutely. So there's probably like a handful, about 10 of us who have got.
Well, there's one who I follow who also follows. You might know her. Her name is Aussie Fit Barbie.
Yes, so, I know her really well.
Yeah, which I'd love to. I don't know if she ever comes to the US, but if she ever does, I'd love to.
Yeah,
have her
she's
here.
lovely. Yes, we've been friends for many years. She's great, and she has amazing boobs.
Yeah, I always think of her as the super busty, super fit Kate Blanchett.
Yeah,
is who she looks like.
The body's crazy. Yeah, so she's fabulous. So yeah, she's also got the saline as well. So
okay, and I assume that she probably got them done outside of Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a no.
I was gonna, because I can imagine, because already you're in a kind of a small group.
Yes. Anyway,
in the world, but if there's only a handful of you in a country.
Yeah, so it's kind of people kind of do double takes. So it's, but if we choose to look like this, so you can't really get too angry. The only thing I get angry about is if people say something really mean or something, and I'm like, come on, just be better. But
yeah. Do you think that there are more women in Australia that would like to go super, super big and they just don't have the ability to?
Yes. And I get a lot of people ask into my inboxes and so forth. But you got to remember, from Australia to go and get it done anywhere is that excess expense of going overseas, being away from people. Some people don't want to go and get surgery in another country. So I guess that if it was available in Australia, it would be a lot more popular, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess that's the unfortunate thing. With that. And I mean, I don't know. Do you think that there would be, I don't know if the law could be changed to allow for larger implants at some point?
I'm kind of shocked that it hasn't, to be honest, because I feel like it's going with the times, everything else medically, they're up there. So kind of shocked that they haven't yet. So,
okay. All right. And so what would you say your favorite thing about having huge boobs would be?
Clothes.
Yeah,
okay. I think for me, I feel like I just love fake boobs. I think fake boobs in clothes, me personally, I think look amazing.
Okay.
I think it's just in the beach weather and so forth. I just think it's, I don't know, I just like that.
Okay.
The confidence and look it has, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of favorite outfits you love to that you think they are particularly the best in?
I guess just bikinis. I guess I live so much in bikinis. I'm always, I live at the casino on the Gold Coast, so I'm always downstairs at the pool in bikinis. I just love it. So it's kind of wear a different bikini every day.
Yeah. Does Australia have topless beaches?
We do, but not very rare. Like,
they're
very rare. They're more like down near Byron Bay, down a bit more of the hippie area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you go to that, or is that not really your thing?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not, to be honest. Yeah.
So are you like you're comfortable with showing them with cleavage, but are you not as like you like to keep? Do you like to keep them a little more covered most of the time?
No, I don't mind showing them off, but I think because of my work, and my work is paid.
Okay.
So if I was sitting around topless and so forth, then that would take away that demographic of, well, we can see that anyway, and that might take my income of that avenues away.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. All right. So at this point, it's a business choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's being honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it makes sense. You know, obviously, you don't want to, if you want to keep it special, and keep it exclusive to certain things.
Yes. So like, I don't do any content, so to speak, like that for that reason as well. So we keep things, kind of for your eyes only type thing for people to. It's out there. Sometimes you may not get the same excitement appeal from people. So it's how we kind of go with that.
Were there any were there any models or women that you saw as you were like going bigger that you thought like she had the perfect boobs in your opinion?
Oh gosh, there's a few. There's a few here in America who I just love and love and love. There's a lady called is it Monroe? She's Chinese blonde.
Monica Monroe.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah, Monica Monroe.
She was one I loved, and there was another one as well. There was quite a few. Pretty much anyone who goes to Revis.
Exactly. Yeah. Anybody coming out of that office. Yeah.
And I just kept on looking at them. I was like, they're just great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, did you? Because like growing up I grew up in the 90s, but. That was the decade when the super like supersized fake boobs really started to come out.
Yes.
So like with Score magazine and stuff, did you see any of that stuff when you were growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. I was back in the day. I loved Pamela Anderson, Carmen Electra, all that type of time coming up. I loved all that 90s, and so I still have stuff on my wall now of pictures of them topless and so forth. I just kind of love that whole look. Hence why I kind of like the big boobs, small waist type thing.
Yeah.
And I grew up with it, and I feel like, I'm not sure about in America, Australia, we were going a bit more the big bums and stuff now.
Okay.
But I think it's going to go back the other way to the old school.
Well, I think big boobs never go out.
Exactly. So I think that's going to come like
because look at the actress Sydney Sweeney. She's I mean to someone like you or me, her boobs aren't super big, but to most people, her boobs are really big.
Yeah.
But her boobs are kind of like one of her standout features that people talk about. So and no matter what, I think that boobs cleavage tends to always get attention, always draw the eye. So but I mean, are they your favorite body part on you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
I do. I feel
like no question.
No question. I just feel confident in clothes. I like that. Like like cleavage does give that attention. You walk in, you can be at the pool, you can be out for dinner, and you can dress it up or down in different ways to make it look classy, or show a little bit or more. And I think it's one of those body parts that you can make those different feels. I kind of like that. So it's definitely my favorite.
and that's interesting that like there actually real quick. There's an older. She was a porn performer that was from Australia. Her name was Misha Lynn. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
Okay, I'll send you like she was from like the 90s, but she had super huge boobs. But I think that she was one of the only Australian porn performers that had super huge boobs. So. I didn't know if you knew who she was or not. I'm sure some of my viewers know who she is.
I'll go look her up.
She's classic. Yeah, she's classic. So, and I mean, have you ever do you like playing with huge boobs on other women?
Yeah. So my favorite body part on a female is obviously boobs as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I love them. I think that's just something sensual about them. I've always been fascinated by them.
Really?
I think they're fascinating.
And I mean, would you say huge boobs and sex positivity kind of go together?
Absolutely. Because if you're feeling confidence and sex in yourself, I think that the curve, I think there's nothing sexier than that in the side on. And so I just think it's that's me. That's what I like in women. So yeah, it's something that I think is just that confidence people get. Like I'm sure you've seen it. Everyone who gets a boob job, anyone I know, my friends, it's like they walk in to have the boob job, walk out, and they're another foot tall. You know,
yeah. Well, and they get more attention, and it makes them feel more and that's great. And is that something that you notice straight away when you would get them bigger?
Absolutely. So I think it just gives that little bit of confidence boost. It's like anything. If you're working out or something, you're going to feel better. Mm-hmm. And if you've consciously just decided to go and get that because that's what you want, you're going to feel great afterwards.
Yeah.
And we're so lucky we can do it. Like it's relatively an easy procedure, so to speak, as in, it's not the most scariest, so to speak. So I feel like it's something that can be achieved. So, and easily in some kind of ways.
Yeah. And like when I can imagine that it's like, do you find yourself just admiring how amazing they look sometimes? Or are you at the point where like, they're too small now?
Yeah, now they're too small. Yeah.
So you're just
now I'm like, no, they're too small now.
So do you have like a date in mind when you want to try to go bigger?
Look, to be honest, I would have liked to have done it this time whilst I was here, but I just haven't ran out of time. So I would like to try and come back for the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you go to Revis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, have you already consulted with him and talked to him?
Yes, I've already consulted with him already. So. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So because you're at 14 now. Did he say that 2000 was within reach, or did he?
I said 22, and he came back probably between 18 and 2000, and I was like, look, maybe a bit more time, like they might stretch out a bit more, but I'm like, he's known for pushing boundaries, so I'm like, go in there and hopefully.
What are your thoughts on expanders?
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about them. I have heard some stories where they've gone wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's a woman here, unfortunately, I think from America, her one was completely had gone down recently. And
I've had some guests that, their expanders ruptured
and I would be traumatized. I don't know how mentally how I would cope because you can't get it fixed straight away.
No, you have to spend it can take a while for it to.
So for me, that is a bit scary for me to think that's possible to happen. But again, I don't know enough on it, so I couldn't really say too much.
Because have you seen again, sometimes they can look amazing, but it's obviously there is a lot more risk.
Yes, and how far can they go up? Is it up to?
There's a model here. Her name is Foxy Menagerie. Have you seen her?
Yes.
She's got over 10,000 each.
Wow. Okay. I thought it's only to 4,000. No.
I think those are expanders. I don't, or maybe she is overfilled to 10,000.
You're crazy. Yes. I just feel that I'm not sure how you breathe or sleep very well. Like I don't know how much. Like these don't feel heavier really compared to my 650s, which is odd. Because people ask me a lot about that. But I've seen them. The bigger these women get, I'm like, can they sleep well? And I'm not sure how that affects that at all, but
it might be. Yeah. Do you feel that there's anything in your life that they hinder in any way, or is it at this point you're so used to them you can get around them pretty easily?
Well, I used to be an Iron Man, and I don't think I can do that anymore.
Okay, all right. All the fitness stuff.
Yeah, I just was Iron Man, like on the bike and running and so forth. I was already wearing 2 bras. At 650. I don't think.
Because again, it makes me think of Aussie Fit Barbie. Like, does she just do mainly weight training though?
Yeah, she's a physique. She's won lots of wars and stuff in Australia, so she's into fitness in those thing. Yep.
But running and cycling and swimming, that's a little harder. All the cardio stuff. Do you miss that, having huge boobs, or are you happier with the boobs?
I'm happy with the boobs, and it's a part of my life I'm happy with, but no, I would definitely choose the boobs.
Never get rid of them.
Never get rid of the boobs.
So, and it's interesting that you don't make, have you had people try to say you should make content?
Yes. So,
and you just, okay.
Yeah, I have had people reach out and so forth, but just for that reason, we're just trying to steer a different direction. I've got nothing against it. It's just where I'm trying to go with my own stuff, I guess.
Okay. So it's something that you probably wouldn't do in the future either?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, again, I think that makes you special because obviously almost every one of my other guests, is a content creator in some form or performer in that way.
Yes. So I've done the OnlyFans, the topless stuff, like we do that, but we don't do any videos or anything like that at all. That's going to be anything out there. That's all.
Well, September, I just want to say, we've come to the end of the show, but I had a really, really fantastic time talking to you. I hope you had a great time.
I did. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I hope to have you back when they're bigger.
I know. Yes, definitely.
Definitely have to have you back. And to all of you out there in Huge Boob Land, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.